Angel Reese and Napheesa Collier had another amazing showdown. This has definitely been a good matchup for sure. It needs more promotion. Alright, so before getting to the Lynx, what worked for the Sky was their continued use of Angel in general, but mostly as a downhill driver. She's either scoring the ball on everyone, including Napheesa, 2024 Defensive Player of the Year, or she's leveraging her rim pressure to draw on the defense and create looks for others. She also had the occasional possession where she was either being fronted or she got amazing position inside and just went up with it, which is way more effective for her than using that power dribble or trying to back someone down. She's just finding easier ways to score. Crazy to say that going at a Defensive Player of the Year is a good strategy, but that's been very successful in these games because she's fast and she has a height advantage. Now, for what didn't work for the Sky, I just have to point out this huge momentum-breaking run. The Sky were actually up by 10 points very late into the second quarter, but they fumbled nearly all of it away because Michaela gave up a mid-range shot to Courtney. Immediately after that, Angel had this atrocious, inexcusable, very preventable turnover that led to a Bridget 3. On offense, Angel set a moving screen so they didn't score. On defense, since Will and Rachel were both on Bridget and no one was on Elena, Ariel had to pick up and gave up a 3 to Kayla. And just like that, they were only up by 2 points going into the second half when it just didn't have to be that way. That was a crucial run that gave up all of the momentum. In the second half, no Ariel, so that made the game harder. I would also say that Angel saw more attention, more doubles, which limited her effectiveness just enough, so that was a good adjustment by the Lynx. Kind of forced the Sky to run offense through and for other players. Camilla didn't have her best game, and the other players are inconsistent. They were also exposed for their lack of guard play. All of the good that HVO provided got erased because she was turning the ball over and getting worked by Napheesa on defense. And Rachel was a turnover machine trying to get the ball to Camilla. The weaknesses of this roster showed there's not much consistency outside of Angel. I could just go on a huge rant, but for right now, I'll just keep it at this. The trade deadline is in early August. The Sky can potentially make the playoffs, but if they want to have a higher chance at making the playoffs, then Jeff needs to make some moves. I would say that's unlikely considering the huge free agent situation following this season. A lot of these players are just going to be half-season rentals. So I would understand if Jeff didn't make a move, but he's not off the hook for creating this roster in the first place. Anyways, now for the Lynx side, I would say what worked for them was that they had a Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles big three. Actually, no, they had an Amy, Blaze, and Rouge big three. Even better. In the last game, Kayla and Courtney scored in double digits, but it was very inefficient. So it was nice that they scored the ball at a more efficient clip, so Napheesa didn't have to carry the offense again. While I would say that the bench played some good defense, it was because of this big three that they were able to survive the bench unit being more abominable than Werehog Sonic. They lost that battle 25-12. A big reason why was because Paige clocked Jessica's game in the third game of the season. 15 travels every time she touches it. Just messing around. It was only her and Napheesa that scored off the bench, minus the 2 garbage time points, but she actually traveled in this game. Alright, I would also say that while Angel still had a solid second half, I like their coverage better. They limited her more. Can't stop a player like her, but you can limit her impact. I noticed more double teams and help situations on Angel, and she wasn't able to make the right reads out of those double teams, which limited her effectiveness, forcing the Sky to play through some inconsistent players. Also, they forced Angel into some turnovers and forced people to turn it over while passing to Angel. The fronting wasn't as successful, but I like the idea because when Angel gets the ball, she has a high chance of either scoring or leveraging her gravity to play make for others, so the best solution was to not even let her get the ball. Also, in the previous game, they let the Sky get 28 second chance points, which is well above their average. This time, the Lynx held them to just 7 offensive rebounds and 7 second chance points, which are below their averages. The Sky don't have the most talented roster, so that's how they have to win games, through hustle, through offensive rebounding, and second chance points. If you shut all of that down, you're going to beat them, which is easier said than done because they have Angel on their team, but that's the truth. If you hold them to one possession, you're just going to win every other aspect of basketball, and that's what happened. In the end, it was an absolute joy to see back-to-back Napheesa Collier masterclasses. She plays with anything to win mentality, and I can always respect that. Also, Angel had some great games against the Defensive Player of the Year, amazing Minnesota Lynx defense, and the Sky took a game off the Lynx, so this worked out perfectly from an entertainment standpoint.